Nobody told Domino he wasn't supposed to care. Nobody told him the rules. Nobody sat him down and explained that male cats don't do this, that a 2-year-old Tuxedo cat with a history nobody wanted to talk about wasn't supposed to become a mother. Nobody told him. So he just did it anyway. And what happened in that small apartment over the next several weeks, nobody saw coming. But to understand why this matters, we have to go back to the beginning. Domino came into the shelter on a Wednesday in November. No name tag, no history, just a black and white cat sitting in a carrier with the quiet dignity of someone who had been through things they weren't going to explain. He was approximately 2 years old. He had a white chest that looked like someone had spilled milk down the front of a tuxedo jacket, and amber eyes that watched everything: the door, the other cages, the people walking past, with a steady, unreadable calm. The intake form said, "Owner surrender." The reason given, moving. The shelter staff noted something immediately. Domino didn't pace. He didn't yowl. He didn't press himself against the back of the kennel the way most cats did in those first terrifying hours. He sat at the front of his enclosure. He watched. He waited, as if he already knew something the rest of them didn't. 3 weeks passed, then 5. Then 7. Families came in on weekends the way families do, children pointing at this one or that one, parents asking practical questions about temperament and feeding schedules. They walked past Kennel 14 every single time. Not because Domino was unfriendly, not because he hissed or lunged or made himself difficult. They walked past him because he was a black and white cat in a shelter full of orange kittens and fluffy Persians, and somehow that was enough. Somehow that was reason enough to keep walking. 8 weeks became 9. 9 became 11. The shelter staff started calling him the Senator because he had the bearing of a man who had been wrongly removed from office and was patiently waiting for the situation to correct itself. And then, on a Tuesday in January, a cardboard box arrived. Inside it, one orange kitten, approximately 6 weeks old, found behind a restaurant on Clement Street, alone in temperatures that had no business being applied to something that small. The staff named him Pip. He weighed less than a pound. He had a pink nose and the kind of desperate, squeaking cry that made every person in the building stop what they were doing and look toward the sound. He needed warmth. He needed, more than anything else, not to be alone. The staff made the decision quickly. They placed Pip's small carrier inside Domino's enclosure, just temporarily, just until they could figure something else out. What happened next, nobody expected. Domino approached the carrier slowly. He sniffed the door once. Then he sat down directly in front of it, not aggressively, not with a territorial tension that usually marked a first introduction. He simply positioned himself between Pip and the rest of the world. When the carrier door was finally opened an hour later, Pip stumbled out on legs that hadn't quite figured out their job yet. He walked directly into Domino. Domino looked down at this small, ridiculous, squeaking creature for exactly 4 seconds, then he began to wash him, from the top of his orange head to the tips of his unsteady paws, methodically, thoroughly, as if Pip had arrived dirty and it was simply a problem that needed solving. The shelter staff stood in the hallway watching through the kennel window. Nobody spoke for a long time. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, I need you to do that right now, because what comes next is the part that changes everything. Hit subscribe. You'll want to be here for this. Over the next few days, Domino established a routine that nobody had taught him. He slept curled around Pip at night, that tuxedo body wrapped around something that could fit in a coffee mug. When Pip cried, Domino would immediately begin grooming him, not out of frustration, not to silence him, with the patient, methodical attention of someone who understood that this was what was needed and was prepared to provide it as many times as necessary. When the staff brought food, Domino would eat only after Pip had been nudged toward the bowl first. When strangers approached the enclosure, Domino would position himself between Pip and the kennel door, not growling, not aggressive, just present, immovable, a wall made of black and white fur and quiet intention. Little did they know, this was only the beginning. The staff began documenting it. Photos, videos. Notes in the daily log that read less like animal behavior records and more like dispatches from a documentary nobody had planned to make. Domino groomed Pip for approximately 40 minutes this afternoon. Pip fell asleep mid-wash. Domino remained in position for 2 hours after. Pip attempted to climb the kennel wall. Domino retrieved him 3 times before apparently deciding the 4th attempt wasn't worth discouraging. Domino refused food this morning until Pip had eaten. Staff had to separate the bowls. The shelter director, a woman named Karen who had worked in rescue for 18 years and considered herself largely unsurprisable, watched the footage on a Friday afternoon and then sat very quietly at her desk. "I've seen bonded pairs," she said later. "Brothers and sisters, cats who came in together, cats who found each other here. I have never seen a cat who was already alone, already passed over, just decide that this was his, decide that completely, without being asked. And then, at exactly 6:47 a.m. on a Thursday morning, everything changed. A family came in. They weren't looking for 2 cats. They had come in specifically to see a calico listed on the shelter's website. But the calico's kennel was near Domino's, and the family's youngest daughter, a girl of about 7 named Rosa, stopped walking. She stood in front of kennel 14. She watched Domino methodically washing a sleeping Pip for a long moment. "He thinks he's the mom," she said. Her parents came to stand beside her. Nobody moved for a while. What they saw next would stay with them for the rest of their lives. Pip woke up mid-wash the way kittens do, instantly, completely, with no transition between asleep and fully operational. He tumbled sideways, right at himself, looked up at Domino with the enormous, unblinking confidence of someone who has never once doubted they were loved. And Domino looked back at him, not with the indifference that people expect from cats, with something steadier than that, something that didn't have a clean name. Rosa pressed her hand against the kennel wire. "Can we take both of them?" she asked. Her mother looked at her father. Her father looked at Karen. Karen said very quietly that she thought that would be the right thing to do. The adoption paperwork listed them together, Domino, Pip, bonded pair, not because they had arrived that way, because Domino had decided that was what they were, and nobody had been able to argue with him since. Months later, Rosa's mother sent Karen a series of photos. Domino and Pip on the couch, the same configuration as always. Pip draped somewhere impractical. Domino a warm black and white wall between him and everything else. Pip, now considerably larger, still being washed with the same patient thoroughness. Pip asleep on Domino's back, one orange paw hanging down like a question mark. The last photo in the series was Domino looking directly into the camera. Amber eyes, steady, unbothered. The expression of someone who had simply decided what needed to be done and had done it. Rosa had written a caption underneath it. It said, "He still thinks he's the mom. He always will." Some animals don't wait to be chosen. Some of them simply look at what needs protecting and choose for themselves. From that moment on, they were never apart. Was it instinct that made Domino reach for that kitten? Or was it something closer to a choice? Do you think animals can love someone they just met? Or does that take time? Tell me in the comments.